Hi, Gary here. Some almost 20 years ago, I was at a Rotary function sitting right up front, and I forgot the speaker coming in that day was doing flower arrangements, and I thought, oh boy, I got to pay attention here. So she got up and got the vase and got the little green thingy and stuck it in there, and she says, gentlemen and ladies, this is about structure. Oh, and my ears really perked up. And she basically started to put this flower arrangement together by a very structural approach, very structural. And there were no holes at the end, and it was beautiful, and it looked very symmetrical. And I thought, I could do this because I really understand structure. I never really got it. That's how flower arrangements are done. And many, many things in life are that way. Very structured, although you wouldn't know it in the way that it's beautifully put together. And that's really the subject of this particular post, is how structure works with money. And it's really three basic things: your balance sheet, your cash flow, and your taxes. Take them one at a time. Your balance sheet, well, what's that about? That's assets and that's liabilities. And when you start off, you don't have much of the assets, and you seem like all you've got is liabilities. Student loans, or credit card debt, or an auto loan, whatever it happens to be. But as you go along, you collect different assets. Might be a house, 401k plans, savings and checking account balances, and other assets. And they all have their own structure. What kind of student loans do you have? How do you pay them off? Do you recombine them? What do you do with the mortgage? What kind of mortgage do you get on your house? How does it affect that asset, that house that you have? What can you do to structure it differently? So the balance sheet becomes a very important aspect of your overall structure. Second is cash flow. Cash flow is simply how much income's coming in and how much expenses are going out. And so we have different sources of income. Most of us, it's our salary, but we have other sources of income from investments that we have, or other kinds of income sources, some part-time gigs that we might be doing where that's coming in. And expenses go out in a variety of different ways. And the way those things are structured is very important. For instance, number one rule is save first, spend second. Do auto withdrawals from your paycheck so that you have things happening and accumulating over on the balance sheet, be it in a 401k or whatever it happens to be. And then how we spend money, the different kind of spending plans. Some people go out and they do a 13 payment mortgage to pay off their mortgage earlier than the 30-year or 15-year mortgage. There's a lot of structure going on within cash flow as it relates to balance sheet. And finally, taxes. Well, taxes, they're really an expense. And, our job is to try to reduce that as low as possible within the systems that are out there in the tax law. And that is just a matter of taking a look and seeing how we want to do things. What's the best way? Well, being tax deductible, then tax deferred, then tax free, and then taxable. And by the way, that all ties back into the balance sheet, right? Different assets are tax deferred. Some are tax free, some you pay taxes on are taxable. And so each one of these has a different kind of tax flavor to it, and it adds in to everything that's happening. It affects your cash flow. It affects your balance sheet. So these three are tied together very intricately, but they really cover the majority of everything you're going to deal with in your life around money, is really getting very clear about it. So I go back to that flower arrangement. When you see that beautiful flower arrangement at the end, it took someone time to put that thing together, simply making sure all the holes were filled in so it all worked together in a really great, beautiful image. And that, believe it or not, is how the money operates within your balance sheet, your cash flow, and your taxes. So until next time, enjoy.